Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a waiting room, staring at a closed door? The calendar pages keep turning, and nothing seems to happen. If you've ever felt that way, then the story of Abraham and Sarah is a story for you. It's a powerful reminder that a delay from God is not a denial. Let's travel back in time to a dusty landscape under a vast Middle Eastern sky. Meet Abram and Sarai, a couple deeply in love, but carrying a quiet sorrow. They longed for a child. In their culture, children were everything: a legacy, a blessing, a sign of favor. But their home was silent. The pitter-patter of little feet was just an echo in their dreams. Year after year, they prayed, they hoped, and they waited. Each passing birthday, each celebration for a friend's newborn, was a bittersweet reminder of the emptiness in their arms. Imagine the whispers, the sympathetic glances from others. Imagine Sarai's own heart, aching with a desire so profound it felt like a physical pain. They weren't just waiting for a baby. They were waiting for a promise from God to be fulfilled. God had spoken to Abram, telling him to leave his home and journey to a new land. He promised to make him into a great nation. A great nation. How could that be possible without a single heir? The years stretched on, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The promise seemed to fade with the setting sun each day. Doubt, that sneaky little thief of joy, began to creep in. Was God really listening? Did he forget? Have you ever asked those same questions in your own waiting season? It's so human to feel that way. One night, probably feeling the weight of it all, Abram went outside his tent. The air was still, and the sky was a breathtaking canvas of glittering stars. It was on a night just like this that God met him. He took Abram outside and said, "Look up at the sky and count the stars if indeed you can count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your offspring be." God didn't just give him a promise. He gave him a picture. Every time doubt would cloud his mind, every time Sarah's tears fell, he could look up at the night sky and be reminded. This wasn't just a vague hope. It was a celestial guarantee. But even with such a magnificent promise, waiting is hard. Faith isn't a straight line. It has peaks and valleys. Abram and Sarai got tired of waiting. They decided to help God out. I think we can all relate to that, can't we? When God's timing doesn't match our schedule, we try to take matters into our own hands. Sarai, in her desperation, suggested a plan. She told Abram to have a child with her Egyptian maidservant Hagar. It was a cultural norm at the time, but it wasn't God's plan. This shortcut led to Ishmael's birth, but it also brought jealousy, conflict, and heartbreak into their home. Their attempt to fast-track the promise only complicated things. It serves as a powerful lesson for us. God's plan doesn't need our shortcuts. His ways are perfect, even when they feel slow. More years passed. The situation seemed even more impossible. God appeared to Abram again, changing his name to Abraham, meaning father of many nations, and Sarai's name to Sarah, meaning princess. Talk about speaking things into existence. Here they were, Abraham nearly 100 years old, and Sarah 90, and God is renaming them based on a promise that to the naked eye looked absurd. When God told Abraham that Sarah herself would have a son within the year, Abraham fell face down and laughed. It wasn't a laugh of mockery, but of sheer disbelief. A 90-year-old woman having a baby. It was biologically impossible. Later, when Sarah overheard the same message from angelic visitors, she laughed to herself for the same reason. It was just too incredible to believe. But here's the beautiful part. God heard her silent, hidden laughter. He asked, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" That question echoes through the ages, right into our lives today. Is your situation too hard for the Lord? Is your dream too impossible? Is your waiting period too long for Him to work? And then it happened, against all odds, against the laws of nature, against the whispers of doubt. Sarah conceived. The laughter of disbelief turned into the purest laughter of joy. She gave birth to a son, and they named him Isaac, which means he laughs. Every time they called his name, they were reminded of their initial skepticism and God's ultimate faithfulness. The very name of their son was a testimony to how God can turn our no way into His watch this. This story is so much more than an ancient tale. It's a blueprint for faith. What can we learn from Abraham and Sarah's 25-year wait? First, God's promises are backed by His character. He is not a man that He should lie. When He showed Abraham the stars, He was anchoring the promise to His own creation, something vast and unchangeable. When you're in your waiting period, find your stars. What has God promised you in His word that you can hold on to? Cling to His character. Second, delay is not denial. It's divine development. God wasn't late. He was working on Abraham and Sarah. He was building their faith, their trust, and their reliance on Him alone. He wanted them to get to a place where they knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that this child was a miracle from him and not a product of their own strength. Your waiting season is not wasted time. God is preparing you for the promise He is preparing for you. He is developing your character, your patience, and your faith. Third, trying to orchestrate our own blessings often leads to complications. The story of Hagar and Ishmael is a painful reminder that our well-intentioned shortcuts can create messes that God never intended. Trusting His timing means surrendering our own timelines and our own plans. It means having the courage to wait for His best, not settling for our good idea. And finally, God has the final laugh. He can take a situation that seems barren, dead, and impossible, and breathe life into it. He turned the laughter of doubt into the laughter of joy. Your story might feel full of tears and uncertainty right now, but God is in the business of turning mourning into dancing. So what are you waiting for today? A relationship? A career breakthrough? Healing? A child? Whatever it is, look up. Remember the stars. Remember the promise given to an old man and woman in the desert. Their story screams from the pages of history that our God is faithful. He is never late. He is working behind the scenes, weaving a story more beautiful than you can imagine. Your Isaac is coming. The laughter of joy is on its way. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. Keep trusting, keep waiting, and keep looking up. The God who fulfilled His promise to Abraham and Sarah is the same God who holds your future in His hands. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this story encouraged you, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content that inspires faith. I'd love to hear in the comments what you are trusting God for in your season of waiting. Let's encourage one another. See you in the next video.